Very well, let me explain. Ah!
Yo, thermite.
That's not good enough!
That is. Welcome to another Operator How-To. Kick back, put on the kettle, and brew a nice hot cup of Earl Grey tea. Enjoy my probably somewhat helpful dissertation of Team Rainbow's angriest Brit, Thatcher. Thatcher is a support-based attacking operator. He's needed basically in just about every team composition unless you're Elevate Unconsulate. Or except when your team doesn't actually pick Thermite or Hibana. The long and short of it is, follow your breaching operators to the things they need to blow up, then throw your Electrodium Explodies at the shit, then they can blow up the shit. Thatcher's gadget is extremely powerful and a much more straightforward means of taking out enemy electronics, mainly because it has a splash radius that can emit through walls. Thatcher's gadget is a little ball of British kryptonite that can destroy Comcast routers, shotgun boxes, whammy wires, pokeballs, splody snipers, beauties, and base cameras. It doesn't affect the gadgets of your friends, Windows XP, or Snappy Boys. It also affects a number of gadgets in interesting ways. It'll deactivate Echo's fidget spinners, for one. The drone will uncloak and then drop to the floor for a certain period of time. And of course, obligatory meme reference, they'll shut down Reflex, Hollow, Red Dots, and
fucking laser sights.
It'll also disrupt Pulse's microwave scanner. All of these things for 10 seconds. So the stuff's pretty useful. These things have an explosive radius of about 5 meters, so that's quite a bit. They can also detonate through floors. The only thing you want to avoid with them, in my opinion, is throwing them into the middle of a room, because it makes it very easy for them to get sniped by splody snipers. It's still a lot to lose though, because you only get 3 of them. Just make a mental note of whether or not you're dealing with a speedy boy in the prep phase or not. Let's talk a little bit more about the Angry Man's weapon choices.
Alright, I'm not doing it.
Yo, Thatcher, blow this shit up. Thatcher.
Mutes right side.
Well, we're waiting.
Thatcher gets access to 3 primary weapons, one of a few who does. Some are used more than others. The AR-33 has 42 damage at a moderate 749 rounds per minute, so a much higher fire rate than the L-85. Only downside? A small magazine size of 25 rounds. It works really well with any kind of close-range optic, a compensator, and a Verti-4. Another AR option? The L-85A2, somewhat slower fire rate, but this one has a 30-round magazine and a little bit more damage. ACOG, Comp, and Verti-4 are all my options on this thing. A more peculiar option that probably happened more by accident than anything else is the SAS Pump Shotty being the primary choice for Thatcher. I would only suggest bringing this thing on super tightly packed maps like Hereford or Skyscraper, but it's a shotty. It's fun. The SAS pistol is one of the best in the game, super high damage and it's easy to control. Put a suppressor on that bad boy to shoot out cameras. Thatcher also has the distinct advantage of claymores. Bring them, place them, defend your flanks from those pesky roamers. As far as what primary you should use, you should really leave it up to yourself. If you like lower rate of fire with higher damage, you'll like the L-85. The shotgun is a novelty, but can be handy in the right circumstances. In my experience, the AR-33 is more suited to close and medium range engagements than the L-85, which does pretty good at long range engagements. Here's a typical Thatcher round. Quite frankly, if you don't have any dedicated breachers like Thermite or Hibana, you could be very well out of luck on that end. If you're steadfast on playing a support, you could play Thick Q or Twitch. Thatcher meshes well with operators he can synergize with, and a breacher without a support is like a Pharah without a mercy. When you've done your droning, now, and this is ultimately all you have to do, stick to your breacher like glue. When they need to blow up the shit, throw your shit at the enemy shit, so they can put their shit on it and then blow the shit up. If there's a German on drugs, send your friendly neighborhood buck or sledge after him to catch him by surprise. For example, on the map border, you can blow out the floor right below where you would suspect bandit tricking to occur. I mention these 2 ops in particular because of their frag grenades, which make weeding out a local neighborhood crackhead relatively easy. Don't forget to plant your claymore on a flank. Nice try, buddy. If all goes well, all you have to do from this point is help your teammates frag the enemy. But what if your breacher gets killed? Well, now you have nothing else to do except go ham. Something I always found funny about Thatcher's character design is that he's not a nerd like Mute, and he doesn't have this high-tech device because it's like, oh, hey, look at me here, I have this thing to help out the team. No, he has these things because he's old as shit, and he comes from a day and age where you didn't have all these fucking fancy gizmos and crap. So don't think of yourself as just a Thatcher in this case, bruh. You've been doing this shit before some of these guys were even born. Laser sights? Who needs them? I don't need them. Show him who's boss. Memo: for an April Fool's joke, put a laser sight on Thatcher's gun and see how he responds to it. To summarize, Thatcher is one of the most useful operators you can play in the game, and he's very fun to duo queue with on a team. I guarantee you that a Thatcher and a dedicated breacher will make the day a little bit easier for everybody in your ladder climbing experience. Coordinate with your teammate to take out the crackhead tricking your shit, and just remember, keep calm and carry a big gun. If all else fails, you might end up picking this guy in solo queue, and then just kind of sit there in the lobby going, "Can I get a thermite? Thermite? Thermite?" And that's all you need to know about
The angry man.
Fuck.
Nice.
Thanks so much for watching, guys, and as always, if you liked it, be sure to give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, it really does go a long way. There's a poll for the next operator in the description, and I will see you all, deuces.